Yo, Michael Jerome here. Appreciate you clicking on the video. Today we're going to be reacting to 1999 by Joey Badass. Now I heard y'all in the comments. I heard you. Quick shout out to Lucky. You really wanted this reaction. I heard you. You got it. And quick shout out to Andrew Peters as well. You want some capital Steez, you're going to get it here as well. Man, the love on the last few videos has been insane. Thank you so much. It's really humbling. I really appreciate all the comments you guys leave. That's obviously the likes, the subs. I really appreciate that. It gets it out to a larger audience. But hearing from you guys, the comments you guys have been leaving, just really insightful. And I've really enjoyed it. So I respond to all of them. Go ahead, drop more comments as you go on along with this video. But I do really appreciate it. We got the new Joey Badass album dropping July 22nd. I have not listened to 1999, so anticipation of that album. I'm here now with you guys, gonna do a first reaction to 1999. Now I did just post a separate video for Survival Tactics, just because that is the most popular song on the album. Figured some people just want to watch that and say forget the rest of the album. So I'll respect that, throw a separate video up for that. But here we are, we're listening to the entire album here. I needed the context. You guys span so much love. And yeah, man, so we're here. Survival Tactics had a very 90s feel to it. I absolutely love that track. It's right up my alley. So thank you so much for that recommendation. So we got track number 1, Summer Nights.
Just fly with a nigga like, just fly with a nigga. It's been a minute since they seen the style with no gimmicks.
Oh, again, very 90s feel to it. I mentioned at the end of the last video, I feel like that may be why the title is 1999, you know, like the end of an era. You wanted to give an ode to the 90s or something. Because this has that feel, I swear, man. It's got that sort of like Nas feel to it. It has a Nas atmosphere, I'd say.
The ones who say you ain't hot for your biggest fan, like nigga damn. Before he got popular, he been the man.
That's true, man. People who hate on you, people, like if you already now, you're hating on me, guess what? You clicked on the video. So whose loss is it really? Obviously, it's mine. Because then I'm not accomplishing my goal. But that's true. The people who hate you the most are giving you the most attention. In a way, they're your biggest supporters. Interesting thought, for sure. Jelly, it's the jam. Song jam, and then food jam. Yeah. You know, one thing I meant to mention in the Survival Tactics video, and that I'm reminded of here, is this the evolution of the sound that artists have. Recently I responded to one comment, and it was by my guy Frederick Williams. I don't know if you're watching this, but appreciate your comment. And basically what I did is I went back to an old Lupe track that was on Kanye's album Touch the Sky. And one of the biggest things I noticed is just the evolution of sound. Lupe had such more confidence in his newer albums than he did back then. That's the biggest thing I heard. And that's something that I noticed with Joey as well. Like, if you listen to this and then you listen to All American Badass, you're gonna hear sonically a difference just in terms of the delivery that Joey provides. And that's not saying it's bad here. It's really good. And maybe this is part of just like the 90s feel to it as well. In that All American Badass 2017 album sounded a lot more modern. And that may have been by design, but I also feel like there's some sort of confidence there as well. He just sounded more confident on that album. And again, not a gripe at all. It's just cool seeing that growth from artists. But anyways, awesome intro track. We'll top into the second track, and that is entitled Waves.
Yeah.
Oh man, where is this from? Okay, so I've heard this from J. Cole, False Prophets. What is the sampling, man? I used to know this. Oh, I can't remember. Y'all throw it in the comments, all right? Because all I hear right now, I mean, J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are my 2 favorite artists. They're the top 2 for me. All I hear right now is False Prophets playing. Oh man, gosh, this got me going just hearing this. This beat is gross, man. Oh, again, the 90s feel. I'm eating that shit up. Eating that shit up, boy.
That's why I'm trying to go global. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to be a mogul. I'm hoping worried about the trending fashions rather than the sending passion.
You wanna know what's interesting too? This track, well, False Prophets. J. Cole is basically going at people who you idolize, right? So, I mean, everyone knows he's talking about Kanye. how stuff he's releasing just isn't hitting the same anymore. So he's just kind of talking about, you know, some of the shitty things going on. And Joey Badass is doing a similar thing here. Like, see, the beat itself makes you want to reminisce. It just gives off that kind of vibe, I feel like. So, I mean, he talked about his mama since 1995, having to work 9 to 5s, which is a really slick line. Then he just sort of keeps it going, like, hey, we're just trying to do good, we pray to our gods, people are trash rapping, they're too worried about their fashions, like, just things that people can improve on, and just really reminiscent. And I'd say this instrumental really brings out, like, the deep side of rappers. Like, you have to, like, if you were to just spit some whack shit on this, it would not fly. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't sound right. And Joey sound good here, so we'll keep it rolling. Oh, yo, that line was dirty. So there was a bar with Complex, so told me don't be so complex. You know, his lyrics are complex. There's actually fucking meaning in them, like half the artists that are out today. Then he goes, dumb it down to accomplished articles and complex, you know, like the hip-hop articles, social media presence, you know. And then he says, the source, Alfredo, of course. Wordplay there, like the source is a magazine. But he also makes it sound like sauce, and then Alfredo sauce, and then, of course, rhymes it with that. That's like some Eminem wordplay right there. It was dirty. That little entendre right there, that was nasty, man.
You know what I want to say? I'm real NIE.
Was that Tupac, man?
I'm coming out 100% real. I compromise.
That's Tupac. Damn. Oh my god. Another nasty rhyme scheme, man. So he said it's, what did he say? Won't stop till I meet Hova, Jay-Z, and my mama in a Rover. Telling the owner of the world's finest motors, I'm gonna blow like supernovas in your daughter's room on a poster. See, I love this shit. Part of this, the way I relate to it is because I'm on that grind right now too, like just trying to get through school, secure my job, start this YouTube shit. Like, I'm on my grind, man. I relate to this. Like, I'm not thinking about me, man. I don't quit. I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna go through with it. Like, that's with everything I do. That's just how I do things. Like, that's how I'm built. So just that one line where he says, "Won't stop till I meet Hova and my mama's in a Rover." Like, that one just hit. Like, I just felt that one. I related to that.
Because my parents mad strict. Hope one day I'll attract the likes of even Madlib. Go all the mad shit. They hear my songs mastered. Until then, all I can.
Real quick, man, so 90s, and I absolutely love it. I did hear this track, Survival Tactics. And there, I said, like, was that a reference to MF Doom when he said, it might have been Capital Steez that mentioned Mad Villainy. But then right here, he mentioned Madlib. And obviously Madlib's done a whole bunch of shit, but I always think with his album with MF Doom, which I did just check, is Mad Villainy. So it's like a bar that okay, so Joey Badass said this one, referencing MF Doom, and then Capital Steez. Next track or two, I don't know exactly how many tracks away is it. 2 tracks from now is going to mention Mad Villainy, so that's really neat. But yeah, man, obviously I said I remember this from J. Cole's track, but J. Cole's track came after this, so I gotta keep that in mind as well. The thing I love about this track is just the hunger behind it, and like I just said, that's how I can relate to it. Like, some of these lines in here, you know, he's not gonna quit. He's not gonna do it until he meets Hova, until he works with Madlib. Like, a lot of this stuff, like, I just feel that. So I definitely enjoy this track. With all that being said, though, we're gonna move on to the 3rd track, and that one's called From the Tomb.
It's the real. Yeah, what's the word? Fake MCs get they raps wrong. Young
Oh. I'd say I definitely prefer the last track over this one. Not hit me quite the same. Definitely prefer Survival Tactics over this one as well. That being said, there's still nice lines in here. Just not ones are hitting quite as hard as the other 2 tracks I've heard. But we got another verse by Joey, I think, so let's hear that. Oh! Oh my god, that's nasty. See, everything So far, everything about this album has been like paying homage, right? How many Pete Maravich bars have you heard in your lifetime, huh? Y'all even know who Pete Maravich is? He said, Puff assists like Pete Maravich, a true maverick, and I average above average on an average day doing bad shit, but you still can't pass this. So Pete Maravich, he's a guard way back in the day. He's famous for this one drill he did where he like threw the ball between his legs and like almost hit his nuts. Like, that shit scares me. I'll never do that shit. But also really famous for his passing. Like here he says Puff assists, so like smoking assists, pass the blunt over. And then mentions Maravich, saying he's a true maverick, you know, one of the OGs in the NBA. And we have some really cool wordplay with the word average, doing bad shit, but you still can't pass this. It's just a really nice rhyme scheme there. I enjoyed that. If any of y'all watched that JID 29 freestyle reaction, you know I'm a sucker for those basketball bars. So if I hear one, I'm gonna catch it. Hey, don't tag me if I miss one though. Don't be a bitch, all right?
You have to ask, it's like apostrophes. You can't stand here unless you pay apostrophe.
Oh my god! I've never heard that bar before. He says, shit on you hypotheses, hypocrisy, after essence like apostrophes. You can't stand here unless you pay apostrophe? Dude, this album has been packed with just these like little 2 or 3 bar rhyme, like mini rhyme schemes where you used to have 2 to 4 rhymes within each line, and it is gross to listen to, man. He is nasty with the pen, man. Okay, I may have lied. That last verse was firing me. I may just not have been paying close enough attention to the first Joey verse and then the Chuck Stranger's verse. But yeah, that third verse was fire, man. Like again, those rhyme schemes that he's doing just in these like small little portions of bars. Nasty. Now, I've already reacted to Survival Tactics, and that's featuring Capital Steez. R.I.P. man. So if you're interested in watching that, just watch to the end of the video. I'll have it as the next video to watch there, just so you can click on it and watch that after this. But definitely recommend that one. Very strong song, super 90s feel, and super strong verses from both Joey and Capital Steez. So highly recommend that one. So anyways, we'll move on to the next track, which is called Killuminati. Also featuring Capital Steez again.
They say I'm evil cause I train my ego to see
this beat though, ugh.
Ain't real spitters, y'all lips chat. You better watch Mr. Nice Watch. Don't risk that. I got a 6-pack of
don't risk that. Watch wrist. Oh.
Give me 2 shots for Tupac killer, nigga.
Oh, bro, shut up. Shut up, bro. Man, just more slick lines again. What'd he say? He said, ain't no half stepping around me. You gotta drown a fish before you can clown me. So obviously you can't drown a fish and then clown me. It's a reference to like a clownfish, I'm assuming. Then he said, the young cop killer, I'm that ill, so Doc, will ya give me 2 shots for Tupac killer? So give him 2 shots. So shots is in like, you know, injections. We all know that, man. COVID. Ugh, fuck that. But then 2 shots is in like shooting Tupac's killer. So again, just so many double and triple entendres. Just, I love this shit because you know what the best part about this is, and I love this. I'm missing so much, so that just makes me want to keep replaying everything. Like keep going back and listening to it again and again and again, and just catch more each time. That's my favorite part about it. That's why I love this kind of music. It's so dense that yeah, I catch these really awesome things the first time. But then, and they're probably even the more obvious ones. And then as I go back more and more, I'm just be like, oh, he said that too. That's a double entendre. That's a triple entendre. Like, love it, man. Fucking love it.
Check the melody.
Ooh.
It's so heavenly. That shit to get your hips to move with no 70s or the opium can.
Oh man, man, that line right there. Check the melodies. It's so heavenly that she'll get your hips to move with no 70s. So the obvious one is 70s. Like the time, 1970s, people, hips moving, dancing, popular around that. And then I know this because I was fucking camera shopping and all this to start this YouTube channel. 7Ds are a reference to a camera, I think by Canon. Fire, man, fucking fire. R.I.P. dude. Dude, you can just hear the raw talent, and he sounds really good on these older beats as well. Like, ah, man, it's so fucking sad, so depressing. Survivor's Guilt probably is gonna hit even more different now that I know just how fucking awesome this guy is. Oh, fuck.
I'm flowing like a volcano with dripping verses off the top. Dirty cops still swerving.
The top of his head, top of the volcano.
When it comes to kicking verses, I'm Mr. Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Kickboxer.
Longevity. Stupid.
Man. R.I.P. to capital C's. You can just tell, like, the fucking talent this guy had. I hate saying that. The skill this guy had. I fucking pisses me off when anyone says, like, I'm talented at something. Like, no, I work for everything. So I was talking about earlier, that first track, the second track, Waves. That's why that one hit different, because I know how to work, man. So it's not talent. This guy was so skilled, and it's depressing, man. It really is. It's so sad. But yeah, another fire track. Again, so many just one-liners, punchlines. That's what the 90s was about. And I'm assuming at this point, it's just the whole album is just a nod to the 90s. And it is phenomenal. The lyrical depth of everything, loving it to death. Thank you so much for recommending it, guys. If you're one of the people watching who sent me the recommendation, thank you so much. If you're enjoying it so far, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps us get out to more people. And also, especially if you comment, I'd love to hear from you guys. I respond to all of them, so go ahead, shoot me a comment. Next track we got is Hard Knock. Oh man, where is this? I've heard this sampled before too. Where is this from? Fuck me. I love sampling in hip hop. It's so cool just seeing little references and nods back, and then a lot of times in the song that they reference it too and give it a nod. God, it's pissing me off. I don't know where a lot of these are from, but I recognize it for sure.
He say he needed guidance, niggas on the streets is violent. He looked at God, but can't find him.
That's tough. Just real quick, where he says, from a man's on the island, he said he needed guidance. People on the streets is wildin'. He looked to God, but can't find him. I feel like everyone goes through a time in their life where they feel like they're just completely disconnected from God. One thing, obviously I'm a Christian, so if you're not, you can just skip past this. But if you ever feel this way, one thing I always do is, first of all, meditation is huge. There's a spot I go to by a lake that's nearby. Sometimes I just sit there and sometimes I don't think about anything. Sometimes I think about what's stressing me out, like what's the issue, what's the disconnect. That really helps me a ton. Another thing I do is just think about the people in my life and know that God is working through them too. So you can connect through God with the people that you see each and every day in your life, because he's working through them. Everything they do is sort of like resonated from him. So you can definitely see God through that way. All that being said, I'm not a priest. I'm not an expert on that. It's just how I see it. So hopefully you got something out of that. Let's keep it going.
Too much pressure, God bless you when they send me wet ya. They told me more dress up, I'm giving too many. Have a wife and kids, so I just can't live my life like this. And I ain't trying to learn what life this is, so I just can't live my life like this.
Dude, another track. I'm just really feeling this one again. So obviously that whole rant I went on just a second ago about like finding God when you're struggling, definitely can relate to that. And then this chorus, so real. It says he knows one day he's trying to have a wife and kids, trying to learn what life is like, wants the gold chains, wants the material things, but he knows he can't live his life like that. Relate to that, man. Relate to that. I think everyone, even if you have self-control, I know I do, and sort of staying away from the really expensive material stuff. Obviously, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But there's always that thing subconsciously where it's like, I could buy that. I could have that. And I get a lot of compliments. People would be like, wow, you look really great. Or wow, you must be rich as fuck. No, man. I just spent my entire bank account on this fucking watch that just is going to get stolen, or I'm going to lose it, or some other bullshit. I don't know, man. I feel this, man. I fucking feel this track again. This is like Waves. Just like Waves.
I'm out for
Presidents to represent me. That's a nod to Jay-Z, right? Ah, I was wrong. It's a nod to Nas directly. The world is yours. I do remember that now. But I was thinking of Jay-Z's Dead Presidents, where it's sampled. Oh, okay. I missed this. So I was actually reading Genius because I'm an idiot. The sample itself is I want dead presidents to represent me. He leaves that out here. So Genius is saying that it might be a call for like politicians to actually do something, which is neat, man. Wow. Well, that's slick, man. That's super slick. I just love the 90s feel of this album so far. Perfect. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, man. Dude, that verse, okay, the way he ended that verse, I did not catch any lyrics. All I was listening to was the flow. That was a nasty flow, nasty rhyme scheme. This album is really disgusting, man, isn't it? Jeez. Yeah, if you're at all like me and you're super into lyrics, you're into depth of songs, like this album is a gold mine. You guys are right, for sure. But yeah, that was another great track. We'll move on to the next one. It's called World Domination. Hey. Man, constant references to Nas, Jay-Z, a lot of references to MF Doom as well. This one has a definite MF Doom feel. But man, you can just hear each and single one of those people in his raps too. I think a lot of times flow-wise, especially towards the beginning of the album, we heard a lot of Nas. Not so much maybe Jay-Z as much, I would say. But a lot of the mini rhyme schemes where I was saying, like, you'd have 3 to 4 bar, like, and like within each bar, he would just have 2 to 4 rhymes. Like that is very MF Doom like. That's what I'm hearing. Man, let me tell you, my head is hurting already. Like, we're not even halfway through, and just trying to keep up with everything. Oh, this album is so dense. I'm gonna love going back, listen to it some more. I don't know why I haven't listened to it. I loved All American Badass. I don't know why I didn't go back and listen to his other albums, but yeah, this is fire, man. Especially with the 90s feel. I'm a huge fan of that. Huge fan. I really like the production on that one too. It wasn't as grimy as some of the other ones, which is nice because we've had a bunch of just like nasty tracks in a row. So that one was, it definitely wasn't, maybe it was upbeat, I don't know. It had a lighter feel to it though, which I appreciated. Joy verse was fire. Bridge was alright. The end there was alright. I'd say this is one of the weaker tracks so far, but not weak by any stretch of the imagination. Everything on here has been dense, and I love that. A lot of nods back to previous artists in the 90s, and that is awesome to hear. Alright, up next we got Penny Royale. Penny Royal. I have no idea. It's one way to put it. Oh my goodness, man. This track is graphic. So that's Penny Royal. It was that was a graphic track. A lot about relationships. It was alright. Wasn't really feeling that one. That was probably the weakest so far, I would say. It was very different from all the other ones though. It had a concept behind it, so I understand that. I'm still pretty slick stuff, so I'm not gonna hate. It wasn't a bad track, don't get me wrong. But definitely preferred some of the others so far. Next track, Funky Hoes. Yeah, ask me. Ask me. I don't trust these bitches, they will never catch me slip. They will never catch. Yeah, that first verse pretty good. Liked it. I have a gripe though. I do have a gripe. The hook. I've said this a couple times on the channel. Repetitive hooks where you're saying the same line or the same 2 lines over and over and over and over again. It better be catchy as fuck, otherwise I'm not gonna like it. Hook's not doing it for me, but that's fine. The verse was fire. The verse was good.
All up in the cut, no alcohol, just mad booze. Trying to find the bad.
All up in the cut, no alcohol, just mad booze. Booze, like woman, boo things, right? And then booze, like with a Z, alcohol. Cute little line. You wouldn't have caught it if I wasn't reading it, but yeah, cool line.
They will never catch me slipping.
All right, so that's Funky Hose. Like the verses, but the chorus and the end part killed it for me. At least the replayability of it. Verses were cool. They were cool, but I'm probably not gonna come back to this one. Shit, dropping my phone. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna come back to this one very often. I would say it kills me. The 3 weaker tracks, I'd say, so far in a row. None of which I dislike, just weaker compared to the rest. He started out so strong to me, I feel like. And it could be that just that the first couple songs really resonated with me. Still love the feel of these songs, love the 90s feel. I feel like the slickness of the lines have decreased a little bit. But it could also just be me not catching this shit. So, hey, it is what it is. Next track, Daily Routine.
Won't stop to consider what's right or wrong because it's hard liquor that's inside his liver. But that's just daily routine. The streets are cool fiends. I guess it's safe to say he's so sold for his new life.
I hear a lot of Nas in this right now. Just the way he came into that second verse, just the flow he took. I hear a lot of Nas. I've heard that throughout this album too. Just a lot of Nas influence, I feel like. And not a bad thing at all. It's a good thing. But again, I really enjoy it too because from here, what we're hearing right now, 1999, to his newer stuff, there's so much growth, and he kind of came into his own new voice, his own voice. Because I hear strongly a lot of Nas here. I really enjoyed this track. I think we're back on track now. No pun intended. See, I'm out here like Joey with these double entendres. You hearing me? But no, okay, that chorus was much better. I really, really preferred that chorus over the last track. And then those verses were tough, man. So yeah, I definitely put this back up there with some of the other tracks I preferred. So I think we just had like a little weak run in my eyes, at least, or at least content that I didn't find too appealing. But this was fire. This was fire. We'll go to the next track, and it's called Snakes. Oh, hold on. That's a fire first line. Okay, what did he say? He said, sometimes I feel alienated because I'm not always in the stadium playing or on the radio saying, fuck them broads, we don't love them, we degrading them. So I think one thing he's saying there is alienated. I think he's referencing like illegal aliens and then saying we're degrading them because obviously they get a lot of hate, man. But then he's also saying he himself is feeling like an outsider in the industries because he's not on the big stadiums. Like he hasn't reached fame yet. Little does he know, in a few years since this, he did. He's fired. I love seeing that where talent gets recognized.
So we gotta raise up. Don't let them just array us. So we raise us in the sun. So we gotta wake up. Oh
man, this track is fire. I think that's referencing again, just right at the beginning of the verse, where he's talking about being alienated, illegal aliens. And he's talking about people being racist. Like, obviously, there's some themes here. But yeah, man, super slick verse so far. Seems like another really strong track.
So I founded the booth. The blacker the berry is, the more sour the fruit they eject.
It is cool to see another rapper reference Tupac's "The Blacker the Berry." I think we all know who else does. Again, one of my top two, Kendrick, "Blacker the Berry," "The Sweeter the Juice." Definitely go check that song out. Don't have a reaction to it or anything, obviously, but go check that song out if you haven't heard it. Black of the Berry. If you haven't heard Kendrick Lamar somehow and you're in this channel, I don't know what you're doing. Might as well just leave. Forget this video. Do yourself a favor, check out Kendrick Lamar. Anyways, Snakes, fire track. Again, another beautifully sung chorus. I don't know who that singer is. Tana Apex. Fire. Loved hearing that. Verses, really slick. Again, one thing I noticed is a lot of just rhyme schemes that are doing that same thing where it's super dense, sounds great. Really, really dense lyrics. Definitely enjoyed this one. Next track, Don't Front. That was slick, man. A meanie shorty up to patch her verse. She played Bonnie and I collide with a vibe when I'm inside her walls. Bonnie and Clyde, and then collide inside her wall. That's fire, man. Oh, gee, there's so many lines like that are just fucking slick, man. Loving every second of this. Not the best hook. It's alright though. Oh my god, that flow is dirty. Yeah, I enjoyed this track. I wish, that's the one thing. I wish there could have been a little bit more of like a modern chorus to this track to accompany those fire verses. Again, super dense verses, super slick. A lot of double, triple entendres. But the don't front verse, or chorus, excuse me, didn't quite do it for me. Still, great track though. We got the third to last track, Righteous Minds. She said that orphans morph into abortions without precaution. Problem with our people, there's too many wannabe Jordan. Too many forces thinking they can make a fortune scoring. Too many wannabe actors instead of achieving their masters. That one line there though, the first part that I said, orphans morph into abortions without precaution. I'm just saying the sentence and I sound like I'm rapping. That's how dense that fucking bar is, lyrically. But as I drop my fucking phone like an idiot. But essentially saying that orphans are suffering the same fate as aborted babies. Ugh. Gross. That's tough, man. This chorus is pretty catchy to me. He's saying the same thing again, but it's catchy. Oh my god, another. That's telling you, man, that's like MF Doom type. Well, I shouldn't say that. That was mean to me. Also, RIP MF Doom, another guy, just brilliant. Unfortunately passed away, I don't know, that was a year or two ago. Oh, but this rhyme scheme, man. Imagine me fed up, a go-getter, no more cheddar, po never blow Berettas because I know no better. I can't even speak it. That's how good that shit is. There's at least 6 rhymes in that one bar. Like, that is disgusting. Fire track, man. That one did have a more repetitive hook as well, and I still enjoyed it. That's what I mean. It's gotta be really catchy for me. I'm very picky. If you're not saying something in the chorus, I'm gonna be picky. But I still prefer more denser choruses. But still, verses were good on that. Chorus was good. Great track. We're on to the second to last track, Where It's At. Oh, that was a dirty bar, by the way. But back to the women, they trying to catch me slipping, so I got a pack of mags to stop venereal venoms from entering my system. Double entendre there. Mags is in, obviously, like condoms, magnums. Then mags is in magazines. But then magnesium as in, like, for the blood. Chorus was weak again in my eyes. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. In every reaction that does it. If it's a chorus where you're saying the same thing over and over again, it better be catchy as hell, otherwise I'm not gonna like it. But anyways, don't mind the rain. We got the last track, Third Eye Shit. You might get your weight pushed back tonight, and I deserve my respect. Brains don't matter if you're that sounds good, man. Stay calm and meditate, but life has dilemmas. It's time to eliminate. Eliminate. Oh my god, the wordplay by this guy. Capital Steez is dirty, man. Kama Sutra with Miss Mary Jane, and then Karma suits her. She's a vibrant thing. The wordplay there. Oh man, just such a clever mind, man. So clever. On the grind since 14. I respect that. You wanna know what's really cool too is that for the chorus, whichever rapper just delivered their verse, that's who aids in on the chorus. I think that's what I'm hearing, which is really neat. It helps the flow of the track for sure. God damn, this is a long track. I'm trying to keep up with everything, but my mind is fried already. This has been a phenomenal album. Let's finish off this track.
So you can't reckon that I wasn't checking for beats unpleasant. I eat up a track and hit your producer up for seconds.
Real quick, Desi Hines. I've heard a few tracks of him recently. He's fire, man. He's got a great flow, nasty flow. What's the track? I think it's called Savior, I want to say. I think Savior. It's just great, man. Fucking great. He still sounds, he's had this sound for a long time, I guess. This is 2012. And I first heard him just like a year or two ago. So good for him, man. It's fitting that Joey's gonna have the last verse too. So fitting. Oh my god, man. Oh, what a way to end it. See, God made 3 bigs, 2 Pacs, but only made one error. One error, like a mistake, but then one error. He made it sound like era, like pro era. Oh my goodness, man. Wow. That was 1999. And boy, am I grateful for your recommendations, guys. Especially Lucky, you're the one who said out front, like, hey, you gotta at least listen to this, put out a reaction, do something. I'm definitely worth it. This album, obviously, the whole theme of it is just everything 90s. It just grind the 90s. So many nods to great artists. Obviously, Pac, Biggie, more importantly, Nas. I've really heard Nas in Joey Badass's voice, like, predominantly over any other artist. Like, there were some times where I just like looked at the track to see if Nas was featured, because I was like, oh, is this Nas? It wasn't. But definitely that's got to be one of his main influences, I'd imagine. He sounds a lot like it at times, but that it's also really nice too, because like I said earlier, you really hear the progression to nowadays. Like if you go ahead and just listen to All American Badass, like it just sounds completely different. It does not. And part of that might be the music behind it too. A lot of these beats are just super old school, and All American Badass is very modern, but just his sound definitely evolved. So that's one thing I noticed, and that's great for him. I think he sounds a lot better now. At least he kept up with the times while still respecting the lyricism, which is very important. But what I'm most importantly interested in is what's 2000 going to be like. We've obviously heard a couple of the tracks. I mean, Survivor's Guilt definitely didn't have the same 90s feel that this did. So I don't know, is 2000 just going to be like, hey, this is my era now, this is my style, this is what I deliver, versus where this is just like a nod, I feel like, to a lot of those 90s artists. Like, hey, this maybe 2000 would be like, hey, this is my generation now, this is the music we put out, this is what we stand for. Maybe it's gonna be something completely different, maybe it's gonna be just this part too, but I highly doubt that from the sound of what we got in the singles so far. Regardless, the singles have been fire. Go check them out. Go check out Survival Tactics. I'll link it at the end of the video here. Go give that a listen. Again, man, if you enjoyed any of this at all, please consider liking, subscribing too. That way you'll get the 2000 reaction in your feed when that does release on the 22nd. I'll hopefully have that out the same day even, because I'm a baller like that. And I grind, man. Grind hard. Remember Waves? Second track? Grind, man. But yeah, so like, subscribe. Most importantly, as always, comment. Let me know what you thought. I appreciate every single one of you guys for clicking on the video. If you're somehow still here at the end of this long-ass video, you are a real one. So thank you so much. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Y'all have a great day now. Peace.